Hi, I have something interesting for you guys today. This is an altitude and vertical speed indicator. This is a dual indicator, a kind of combo. The reference is KAV 485. I bought this thing from China on eBay. And I have something else. I have the service manual of this instrument here. So there is everything inside, the schematics and everything. So the goal is to make it work using an AirData computer. I will try to connect this AirData computer I have described in one of my previous videos from CIC. So the interface is an ARINC 429 bus. And I have also a little user manual I found on internet. So first, let's have a look on this instrument. So as you can see, this instrument has seen better days. The front glass is missing here, and the cover is a little bit damaged, as you can see. So on the front we have these two indicators, the one for the altitude, another one for the vertical speed. We have at the same time a digital display and also analog displays with these two needles here. According to this documentation, we can see that we should have on the top left of this instrument a push button, one, which permits to select between inches of mercury or millibars. But as you can see, this push button is missing here. Maybe the shaft is missing, we will see inside. These two knobs permit to set the pressure. One is for a coarse adjustment and the other one is for a fine adjustment. We have two push buttons here. So let's open this thing to see what is inside. Okay, so we have different electronic boards on this instrument. This one is quite recent. We have a date code of 99 here. I cannot see 92, it seems. 98 for this one, probably. And there is one power transistor on this side with this dissipator, which is screwed probably yes to the case of this instrument. So this thing is an encoder. We have some golden tracks just above this plastic stuff in order to have some contact at every position here. It is the same for the second one on the other side of the board. We have the same on the other side here. So as you can see, there should be a switch here, but this switch is more or less destroyed. But normally this thing is not used because there is nothing written, and that's strange. Okay, so we can see that effectively the shaft is missing. So this is a switch in order to select between the millibars and inches of mercury. The shaft of this push button is missing, so I will try to find something. It is not a big problem. And I think that the course of this push button is limited, because actually this switch is not activated. So on this side we have the digital board. So we have a classic 8032 from Intel here, with the associated EEPROM, which contains the code. There is a counter here, 161, and there are some various logic ICs. There are also these three modules, and we can see here the glass display. So actually it is a gas discharge display, obviously. The drivers are here, probably UDN 6118, and there is another board inside. So let's remove this board first to Okay, this is a nice construction. There is one small bulge here, but as you can see that there is a conformal coating. You can see the reflection of the light, and this conformal coating was applied after the soldering of this small wire, so it cannot move anymore. The brand of this capacitor is Richer. The temperature is 85 degrees. And this should be the power supply board. Yes, I have to remove probably these two screws. There is probably a dissipator. So let's have a look first on the power supply board. We have the same brand for the capacitor, Richer. And this one is a 105 degrees, 50 volts, but I cannot see the value of the capacitance. It's hidden by the other capacitor here. And this one is 105 degrees. And these ones are 85 degrees. So this seems to be obviously a toroidal transformer. And these are regulators. Plus 12, minus 12, and plus, this is a transistor, MOSFET IRF 520, N-channel, and there is one transistor here in package TO 126. So this is a small regulator here, in TO 99, it is a LM 117. There is another board here with a DAC 80 from Bourbon. Nice ceramic package. So this is a mix of SMD part and through-hole parts. That is strange. We have several SMD parts here, but in majority they are through-hole parts. There are also several power transistors here, medium power. So these transistors permit to drive, obviously, these three synchros. So these are DC synchros, actually sine cosine. So there are two windings. In one winding you apply a voltage which is proportional to the sine of the angle you want to set, and the second one to the cosine. So we have three synchros, of course, one for this one for the vertical speed, and one for the vertical speed bug here. I will not remove this board. We will see on the block diagram and the schematics how this thing works. I will use this metallic shaft in order to have the prolongator for the push button. I will use also a small piece of reaching tube. On this page we have the schematic diagram of the analog board. On the right of this page we have the drive of the three synchros. So there is an amplifier, a negative amplifier, using this op-amp and this push-pull output. So the input is here for this one. We have 6 amplifiers. For one synchro we need the 2 amplifiers because we have 2 windings. So we can see that we have this one for the altitude pointer, this one for the vertical speed, and this one for the vertical speed bug. At the input of each amplifier there is this voltage buffer. Actually this is a sample and hold, so we have 6 sample and hold here. This is a 12-bit DAC. The output of this DAC is fed to this analog multiplexer. This permits to charge successively each capacitor at a given voltage, so we can have 6 different DC voltages using only one DAC. Here we have the drive of the 2 flags. It is interesting to see that we have a retriggable monostable here, so this permits to have a high level at the output only if there is a refresh of the signal. The input here is a pulse actually, so if there is a problem, this thing will not be activated and the flag will turn off. So this permits to be sure that the firmware is running when the flag is activated. So this is like a watchdog actually. It is the same for the other flag. We can see the output of the flags here. On the left of this page we have the ARINC interface. The hardware is very limited in the kind of instrument because everything is performed by the firmware. And there is also something interesting, is an oral alert here, so it is possible to connect a loudspeaker or at least a small amplifier. So when the altitude is close to the decision height altitude, there should be a sound. So the output is here with this amplifier. This is an oscillator, which permits to generate a square wave here. We have this positive feedback and this RC network here. So this is fed to this amplifier. So this is probably a 555 or something like that. So this one permits to set this voltage to the ground. So this is a switch. This is a schematic diagram of the CPU board. There is nothing special. The microprocessor is here, 8032. We have on the right the drivers for the digital display. So I'm going to connect this thing to a power supply. So we have here the pinout of the rear connector. So you can see that we have the internal power supplies which are accessible through the rear connector, so it is possible to check the power supplies. So this is interesting. Otherwise the ground is here, the power ground is the terminal G here. The power supply is here, 28 volts on F, and then I don't know if we need to apply something else. So these are the lighting, the altitude alerting. For the moment it is not important, so we have the transmitter and the receiver for the ARINC 429. So first let's supply this thing with 28 volts DC between F and G here. Okay, I have connected this thing to 28 volts power supply. So let's turn on the power supply. Okay, we have something. Okay, so it is possible to adjust this pressure. So we have the inner knob here to set the pressure with 1 millibar resolution, and the outer permits to change the pressure with 10 millibars resolution. We can change from millibars to inch of mercury. So this thing doesn't have any effect. I don't know if it is normal or not. So the flag is still activated here. You can see that we have a power monitor circuit here, which permits to test the various power supplies. There is a test of plus 12 and minus 12. There is also a test of plus 6 volts and minus 6. So there is a power monitor here, and the power monitor is also accessible to this test point U here. You can see that this thing is connected to the output of the power monitor at this point. So let's have a look on this voltage, terminal U. Okay, on terminal U we have a voltage of 4 volts approximately. This is the correct voltage according to the manual. I have connected this AirData computer to this indicator using the ARINC 429 interface. So I'm going to turn on the power supply. You can see that we have something different. We have this fail message on the altitude indicator, and the values are not blinking anymore. I will connect the pressure generator to the static input here. It seems difficult to display something with this instrument. I think that some specific ARINC commands should be sent to this instrument in order to activate the altitude and the vertical speed. For the moment, I will try to read the EEPROM. I will design a small instrument in order to analyze the ARINC 429 bus, and after that I will do more tests on this instrument, and I hope it will be possible to display something. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.